Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amelia and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet this very cute bee. When I made this pattern I had complete beginners in mind, so don't worry if you've never crocheted before because I will show you the basics and teach you how to crochet this very cute bee. So yeah, let's get into it. So here are all the materials you will need. You'll need parfait chunky yarn, at least that's what I'm using. You could try using any yarn, but this tutorial will be specifically for chenille yarn. And then you'll need your crochet hook. I'm using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. That's just what I like to use. You can go a little above or a little below, just depending on what you like. But if you don't know, if you're just starting out, then I recommend a 4.5 millimeter hook. And you're gonna need a tapestry needle. Get one with a pretty big eye so that this chunky yarn can fit through. And you're gonna need a stitch marker. You don't need one that's this big. I just like the big ones for this chunky yarn. And then finally some scissors. They don't need to be embroidery scissors specifically, but I just have them. And you're gonna need quite a bit of stuffing. So what we first need to do is create a magic ring. And this can be a little hard to do in the beginning when you're first starting out, but don't worry, you can do it. So, take your left two fingers, your index and your middle finger, and take the yarn starting from behind your fingers, wrap over and across your first two fingers and do that 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So you'll have 3 loops around your fingers. And now you're gonna hook with your ring finger and the pinky finger the working yarn. So it kind of hooks around like that and you grab it. And now we're gonna take your hook and you're gonna go in from like the back of your fingers under all the loops and then wrap around. And the goal is to try to hook the working yarn with your hook. So just like that, and then pull it through all your loops, and then twist your hook back and have it, and now you'll have a loop on your hook, as well as all the 3 loops on your fingers. So now in this same position, you're gonna go back in to the working yarn, go under, and then hook it, and then pull through that loop that was on your hook. And now, this is just the beginning of your magic ring. You can now take your fingers out of the loop and it should be fine as long as it's still on your hook. And now we want to insert 6 single crochets into this magic loop. People call it magic loop, but magic ring, it's the same thing. So how you hold the yarn is take your left hand, wrap it over your pinky, and then twist your hand back. And then that's how you hold your yarn. So pinky, wrap yarn around, twist your hand back, and you also need to grab the yarn with your pinky. And that's how you control your tension. So let's get started. So 6 single crochets into the magic loop. So how you do a single crochet is you insert the hook. I do yarn under. So yarn under is where the yarn goes under your hook and you hook it. You can also do yarn over where the yarn goes over the hook and you hook it, but I prefer yarn under for amigurumi because it looks better in my opinion, but you know, it doesn't really matter. So I go under, pull through, and I'll go under or yarn under again and pull through both loops. So that was 1 single crochet. So another one. Insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn under, pull through, 1 loop on your hook. Insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through, again. 4th time, insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through again. So, 2 more times. Insert the hook, yarn under, pull through once, 2 loops on your hook, yarn under, pull through again. That's 1 loop on your hook. You should always have 1 loop on your hook when you're starting your new stitch. And then one last time, insert the hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through again. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets. That's good. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to close the magic circle. So you're going to take your tail and you're just going to gently pull. And now you're going to see that which one is tightening. You're going to take that loop that's tightening. You're going to go from the bottom and you're just going to pull. Pull gently because chenille yarn is very prone to breaking. And I'm just going to untangle this. I'm going to take this loop and get that out of there. So yeah, I'm just going to pull, and as you can see, it's tightening. And just keep doing that until it doesn't really go anymore, but just do that gently. And then you're going to take your tail once it's completely shut, and you can see your magic circle is completely shut. Take that tail and you're just going to gently start pulling. I would recommend to pull from the base. Don't pull too far because it might break. But just gently start pulling, tugging, and it should start going. So now you see it is closing. Don't pull too tightly. And yeah, that is your first row. So that was row 1. And now we need to do our second row. So now we need our stitch marker. So I like this big stitch marker. And what you do is, some people do it different ways, but I like to put the stitch marker on now. So you just hook it on. I hook it onto the back of my hook, not the front, because I feel like it just gets in the way. So I just hooked it on, and you'll see why I hook it on before I actually make the first stitch, because this loop turns into the first stitch of our row. So it's really hard to see, but you can kind of count your way back. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is my 6th stitch. Chenille yarn is very hard to see your stitches, so you kind of have to feel it out, or you can kind of see it. But so you got to insert your hook first into the 2 loops. It kind of looks like a V, and then you're gonna yarn under again, pull through, yarn under, pull through the 2 loops. And that was your first single crochet in the second round. So now we're gonna learn the increase stitch. So the increase stitch is just 2 single crochets in 1 V, so in 1 stitch. So I'm gonna go back in to that same stitch. It's kind of hard to see, but I think it's in there. And then I'm gonna yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through again. So that is our first increase. Now we're gonna do this 5 more times to get a total of 6 increases, which is gonna be 12 total stitches. So insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through again. And in that same stitch, yarn under, pull, insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through again. And here, so let's see if you can get a good angle of a good view of the stitch. So you can kind of see there the V that I'm talking about. So you insert your hook through both of the V's, yarn under, pull through the 2 loops, yarn under, pull through both of those loops to get 1 loop on your hook. And that was the first one, so you gotta do that one more time. Insert, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through again. And I'm just gonna do that 3 more times to get our second row done. So okay, and now that should be your second row done. Time for the third row. So I already just took the stitch marker out. I'm gonna insert it behind the working loop, and we're gonna go again. So crocheting is kind of like a pattern. So we started with the magic ring of 6 single crochets, and then we increased 6 times to get 12. Now we're gonna do single crochet increase, and repeat that single crochet increase 6 times to get 18 stitches in your row, in your round. They call it rounds, actually. So yeah, let's get going. So single crochet first, so single crochet, and then increase. So two single crochets in one stitch. So that's increase. And let me just pull my yarn. So let's just keep doing that all around. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. All right, that is our third round, and you can always count your rounds by going from the center and going out. So you can count 1, 2, 3. So you know we've done 3. So time for the fourth round. So attach our stitch marker. Now it is going to be 2 single crochet, increase. Repeat that 6 times to get 24. So single crochet, 2, increase. And that is row 4. So row 5, the pattern is 3 single crochet, increase. Repeat that 6 times to get 30 stitches in your round. So let's go ahead and do that. So 1, 2, 3, increase. Oops. If the loops come off, if the hook comes off, you'll still have the loops, so you just hook them back get them back on your hook. It's not too big of a deal. That's 1, 2, 3, now an increase. And let's just repeat that 5 more times. That was our 5th row. So let's go into row 6 now. So take out the stitch marker, place it behind, and let's get started. So row 6 is 4 single crochet, increase. Repeat that 6 times. So actually I made a mistake. I did not count properly. So if you don't count properly in a row, you can always undo it all and restart. So that's what I had to do. Oops. So let's restart. So I'm on row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 5 rows, so I'm on row 6. So row 6 is 4 single crochet, increase. I don't know why. Since I was on row 6, I was doing 6 increase, which is wrong. So let me just restart it and do 4. So that was row 6. So for row 7, it is 5 single crochet increase, repeat that 6 times to get 42. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase, and repeat that 5 more times. And that is row 7. Row 8 is just 42 single crochets all the way around, no increasing at all. We're on row 8 right now. So we're on I say row, but it's meant to be round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're on the 9th round right now. On to row 10. On to row 11. So we're on row 11 now, and at this point, we need a color change. So we're color changing to black yarn. You can use brown if you want to, but I chose black. So get our yarn ball of black, and what you want to do is just set this aside for a moment. You need to make a slip knot. So how you make a slip knot is you make a loop, grabbing the yarn with your right and your left finger, just as I'm doing here. You're gonna stick your index finger and your middle finger into the loop, and then you're gonna twist away from you. And then you're gonna stick your thumb in as well into the loop. And then you see the X, you're gonna grab the top left corner of the X. And once you grab that, you're gonna wanna pull the yarn through. And that is your slip knot. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna put the loop on your hook, and then you're just gonna grab the knot to tighten. And then that is how we attach the black yarn. So you're gonna hold your working yarn, grab the tail of the black yarn while pulling it through the 2 loops of the yellow yarn. And now, since this is the beginning of row, what row is it? Since this is the beginning of row 12, I'm pretty sure, let's just count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Since this is the beginning of row 12, we're gonna put our stitch marker in the loop, in the working loop. Sorry, let's get that through there. It's a little difficult when you're first starting, because it's a little bit tight. Oh, but there we go. Get that in there and pull the working yarn tight. Just make sure everything's pretty tight. And now just continue those 42 single crochets with the black yarn. So now that we have our loop on, we can just work as usual, like normal. So that's our first stitch, and you can just tighten everything, making sure it's all in there. Let me just toss this yarn in there. So I have a little box over there to keep all my yarns in. And don't cut. I mean, you can cut your yellow yarn, but I wouldn't recommend it because we're gonna be using it again shortly. So I would just keep it there. It shouldn't bother you. It's just kind of there. So yeah, let's do 42 single crochets for, we're gonna do that for 3 rounds. So for rounds 12 to 14. So I'll see you back when we're done with that. On to round 13. On to round 14. So at this point, I just finished round 14. I haven't exactly finished the whole round since I still have 2 loops on my hook because I need to attach the yellow yarn. But I'm actually gonna pause here. Maybe I'll just put the stitch marker on this loop, this front loop, and we're gonna add the eyes. So you have the bottom of the head be where the color changes so you can kind of hide it. And I just like to fold my little guy in half. And let me just get the eyes real quick. So I have the eyes. I'm using 14 millimeter. Yeah, 14 millimeter safety eyes. And you just take 2 and take 2 of the backings, and that should be good. So we have the bottom here, and I'm going to place them in between rows 6 and 7. So basically, it doesn't have to be exact, but they should be evenly spaced apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So kind of right here, I think. I might move them later, but. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So kind of right there. So let's see, it looks like, if we open them back up, it looks like this side looks fine, maybe. But it looks like we have to, see, so I have my original. Let me just see, let's see what the original looks like. The original is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's in between 5 and 6 from the black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in between 5 and 6 from the black. So that should be good. Yeah, that should be good. So if we flatten it back out just again, I don't like to put them exactly on like the side. I like to put them a little bit above just so we know what the top is and what the bottom is. And you can either count from the center, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, between rows 6 and 7. But I sometimes like to count from the black because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then between 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we just need to put the backings on. I do this by feel. I don't really have to look at it, but you can look at it if you need to. And make sure that while you're doing one eye, the other eye doesn't pop out. So let's just pop those in. One eye's in, and the other eye. There we go. Do we have it? Yeah. Here, you can kind of see it here. If my fingers aren't blocking. There, that's what it looks like. So pop those in, and now we have the bee's eyes in. Now this tip is completely optional, but I'm gonna add blush to my bee. So just take about 1 arm's length of yarn and just snip it. And we're gonna thread the tapestry needle, thread the yarn through the tapestry needle. So just going to thread that, oops. Just gonna pinch the full yarn and then get the needle through and just kind of shove it through. And that's how you thread it. And then we're gonna go in from under the eye, and then over. Let's see. Yeah, let's start from here. So, actually, sorry, no, we need to start from under. So starting from under the plush, we're gonna stick it up through the middle, right under, middle of the eye, right below the eye. We're gonna pull that through. And then we're gonna go 2 stitches over. and pull that through. To make the blush. And that's basically it. I don't like to do it 2 times because I feel like it's too much. But what you can do is, once you're done, I just like to tie it in the back. So just make sure it's not too tight. I don't like it to be too tight or else it kind of gets lost. So keep it a little loose, but not too loose. And we're just gonna tie it. I do double knot, so I recommend a double knot. Don't do it too tightly or else you're gonna, the blush is just gonna get lost. So yeah, double knot, and that's about good. So now we can snip the yarn. And I'm gonna use this long tail for the other side. So thread the yarn through the tapestry needle again. And go from under the plush. Pull through. And then go 2 stitches over and pull through again. And now we can kind of loosen it a tiny bit. And now we can tie a knot. Double knot again. And now we just snip our ends. And that should be good. Now we have added blush to our bee. Okay, now that we've added the eyes and the blush to our cute little bee, we're gonna resume crocheting. So I just added my hook back to both of the loops of the hook. Sorry, of the crochet thing, whatever. And now we're gonna take the working yellow yarn and we're just gonna loop it over the hook and then pull through, and then just have the tail of the working yarn kind of just like hold it down a little bit, just so it doesn't, just so you kind of keep it under control. And so now we have that loop in and we've attached our stitch marker. We are ready to crochet rounds 15 to 17, just single crochets all the way through. So don't cut the black yarn yet because we're going to use the black yarn one more time for the second stripe. But we're just going to do single crochets all the way around for 42 times. And I'm just kind of making sure everything's good. But yeah, I'll see you after 3 rounds of yellow. Row row 15 done, and now on to row 16. So now we've done 3 rows of the yellow, and we're on row 18 now. We're gonna switch back to the black yarn. So I'm just gonna take the yarn and hook it around, pull it through, and put the stitch marker in, and take the working yarn and start crocheting. So we're gonna do 3 rounds of black yarn, rows 18 through 20, just single crochets all the way through. So I'll see you when we've done that. Row 18 done, now on to row 19. Row 19 done, on to row 20. Okay, so I'm on the last stitch of row 20, and now we need to switch back to yellow yarn. Now this will be permanent, so we can cut the black yarn once we're done with this. So I'm gonna grab the yellow yarn, make a loop, hook it through, and then put the stitch marker in. And now we can start. So we're gonna do one row, row 21, just 42 single crochets all the way through, and I will see you back when we've done that. Oh, and don't forget, you can cut the black yarn if you want. I'm gonna do that right now. Row 21 is done. Now on to row 22. So for row 22, we're going to introduce a new technique called the invisible decrease. So the invisible decrease is where in two loops, like in two stitches, you're going to make one single crochet, basically. But first, but the pattern is 5 single crochet decrease. Repeat that 6 times for a total of 36 stitches. So first, before we learn the decrease, we just need to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the invisible decrease, what you want to do is you want to look at the V, and you want to take the front loops only of 2 stitches. So the front loop is the loop closest to you. So one front loop, and then go around and get the next front loop, yarn under, pull through both those front loops to have 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn under again, pull through both. And now you see kind of like a tilted little, like a little pyramid, like a triangle thing going on, and that is your invisible decrease. So that was our decrease. Now we're gonna do 5 more single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now decrease again. So front loop of the first stitch, front loop of the second stitch. So we're gonna have 3 loops in our hook total, and then yarn under, pull through 2, yarn under, pull through all. So now let's just repeat that 4 more times, and we will be on to the next row. So I'll see you then. So that is the end of row 22. On to row 23. So this pattern is 4 single crochet decrease, repeat 6 times for a total of 30 stitches. So let's go. So we're done with row 23, on to row 24. So row 24 is 3 single crochet, decrease. Repeat that 6 times for a total of 24 stitches in your round. So let's go. So now we're going to take a break from crocheting, put our stitch marker through the first loop, take our hook out. So the stitch marker kind of keeps the yarn from coming undone. And now we're going to stuff our plushie. And we're going to want to stuff our plushie quite firmly because of the stuffing will deflate a little bit over time. So, oh, sorry, I just hit the tripod. Get our stuffing. This might not be enough, but we'll see. And don't go all at once, just go kind of little by little, but since this bee is quite simple of a shape, we don't have to go too small of starting. And I like to split apart the stuffing before I put it in, just to kind of fluff it up a little bit. So we're just gonna stuff him, looking pretty good. So yeah. And feel free to comment down below any questions you guys have, or if I didn't explain something quite properly or anything like that. I'm pretty responsive, so I will definitely get back to you. And I can maybe even make another video or a YouTube short on something that I missed in this video if you guys are confused. So don't hesitate to do that. This is definitely not gonna be enough, but I actually don't have any more stuffing. This is all I have, so it might be a kind of a deflated bee, but we will work with it. Okay. This is all the stuffing I have. It actually might work. It will be a little deflated, but you know, it'll be okay. My stuffing is not coming today, and I need to record this video today, so you know, that works. And if it's misshapen at all, you can always just kind of squish it around to get it in the shape you want. So this is about good. Just gonna kind of get the sides looking nice, and yeah, it's looking okay. Yeah, that's basically just how you stuff. I would definitely stuff it much more firmly than I'm doing it, but since I don't have any more stuffing, you know, I can't. But yeah, now our bee is looking more and more like a bee. Very, very cute. And yeah, that's how you stuff. Very simple. So now that we have stuffed our bee, we want to continue crocheting and closing up this this bee. So next is row 25 is going to be 2 single crochet, decrease, repeat that 6 times for 18 stitches. So let's go. the next row, we're gonna do 1 single crochet, decrease, repeat that 6 times for 12 total stitches. Okay, so I messed up somewhere. I need to frog all of this and redo it. It's completely normal to mess up sometimes. It happens to everyone. So let me just redo this real quick. Okay, fix that. Now that's all good. So at this point, if you want to continue stuffing your plush and just fill up like the rest, you can. There's still enough room, but I'm going to continue since I ran out of stuffing. And we are going to do the last row, row 27, which is 6 decreases all across, no single crochets, just decreases. So let's start. So 1 decrease, 2 decrease, 3 decrease, 4 decrease, 5 decrease, and 6 decrease. Okay, so now to close it up, you're going to do a slip knot, which is just when you insert the hook, yarn over and pull through both loops, or sorry, just that first loop, and leave like a 6-inch tail. And you're gonna pull that through, all the way through, and just tighten. Don't pull too hard, like I said earlier. This yarn is pretty prone to breaking, so we don't want to pull too hard. So now I'm just going to thread my yarn through the tapestry needle. And what we're going to do is we're going to thread the yarn through the front loops of each, sorry, you can't see that, the front loops of each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is the fun part. We get to, we get to just pull, and see it close up. It's pretty satisfying. And once you've done that, you don't have to do this, but I like to just keep it nice and secure. I'm just gonna insert the needle next to where the yarn sticks out and pull through, and then do a knot, which is where you just put the yarn, you thread the yarn in between the loop, like through the loop like that, and then pull, and then tighten. And then near where the yarn sticks out, I'm just gonna insert the needle, and then just go and then just kind of push it through to the front of the bee. And then what you want to do is you want to kind of pull it a little bit. Then we're just going to cut. And that is your bee. He's a little understuffed because, like I said, I didn't have enough stuffing to complete him. But I still wanted to do this video. So yeah, I mean, he doesn't look too bad. But yeah, this is your bee. Now we just need to do the wings. So I will show you guys that now. So for the wings of the bee, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make one kind of circle, and then we're gonna wrap the yarn around to split the circle into two. So it's gonna look like this. Kind of looks like a bow. It's kind of cute, but yeah. So we're gonna start with another magic circle, and if you forget how to do it, you can just rewind the video to where I show you in the beginning, but I'm not gonna, just gonna do it normally right now. So yeah, we do the magic circle, and we're gonna put 6 single crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we close. And we're gonna do 6 increases for the next round. Don't forget your stitch marker. Okay, next row, row 3, single crochet increase, repeat that 6 times for a total of 18 single crochets. Okay, last row, row 4, is going to be 2 single crochet, increase, repeat 6 times for a total of 24. Okay, now that we have our wings done, or our wing, well, no, it's wings, but it looks like one piece. We're gonna do a slip stitch and cut a good amount of yarn, because we're gonna be wrapping the yarn around itself to create the wings. So just pull that tight. Now what you want to do is you want to kind of look at where you want. You're going to use this yarn tail to wrap it around to create the two wings, but you don't want to just wrap it around willy-nilly. You want to kind of gather the yarn to where you want it, and that looks about right to me. And then you're just going to want to wrap tightly around multiple times, and you can kind of guide where you want how you want the wings to look. But yeah, just keep wrapping tightly that's about good. And now we just want to, how we secure it is we're just going to tie the one tail to the other tail. So while holding it, I'm just going to tie a nice knot, double knot, always. Tie that pretty tight, and another time for double knot. And there are our wings. Now all we need to do is attach them to the body, so I'll see you there. So we're gonna attach the wings just to the very top of the head, probably right in this, like where the black meets the yellow on the first stripe. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the longer tail and thread the tapestry needle through it. So grab your needle and thread the yarn. Sometimes it sheds a lot, but hopefully it doesn't do that for you. Just want to try and get that through there. It's not really working with me very well. Let's try this one more time. So we're just gonna really push it in there. There we go. Okay. So much chenille yarn dust. Okay. So we're just gonna find the top, just about the top of the work. It's about here, so I'm just gonna attach it like this, like so, and so now we want to, since we've gone into the body, we want to go back into the wings now. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way first and go in kind of through the middle like that and pull through, tighten, and go back into the plushie like so. And now we have attached the wings. So I'm just gonna make a knot. So we just wanna go back through the body and then go put the needle back through the loop to make a knot. And now we can just get this yarn out of the way, pull it through, and snip. And then we can just tie in this yarn end. So just thread the needle. And put it in there and just get this through. And snip. Okay, and there you have, should be, yeah, it looks pretty good. There you have your bee, your finished bee. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and comment below if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to say. I'm pretty responsive and I read every comment. And yeah, thank you for watching.